In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get rid of this problem that I got going on here. I usually have two monitors on this desk here, and let me tell you something right now, it's just chaotic. Not only is it too much when I'm gaming, and my peripheral vision, as you can see behind me, when this thing's on, the lights are like crazy in it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to build a shelf. I'm going to call it a PC DIY shelf build for you at home. And if you follow along, you can do this too. The thing I would strongly urge though is if you are not able to use power tools such as like a circular saw, or if you're not confident enough to use a drill or any other power tools as such that you'll see in this video, please get someone that knows what they're doing to at a minimum help you, maybe to cut it for you and to prepare the pieces. Then you can just install it. Just whatever you do, don't take this video as anybody can do it, because you could actually get hurt doing this. So full disclaimer, get someone to help you if you don't know what you're doing, okay? So I'm gonna break it down for you a little bit, what the problem is and why we're doing this. Like I say earlier, this thing blows in my face pretty heavy here. So what I wanna do is I wanna build a shelf that's a little bit lower and put it behind me. Because what this actually is, if you've been following along in some of my previous videos, I've slowly been developing my studio with a series of somewhat comical reviews. Comical in that they're just not very good. Let's get that straight out of the gate here, guys. But anyways, let's get back to the point. When I shoot videos, this is my background in most of my videos here, and the computer, which I really do like having it, it's kind of annoying when I gotta move everything in order to make videos. So what I'm gonna do is make a permanent home behind me in the corner, behind my desk, as my desk sits in sort of the middle of the room. It's a partition desk. Maybe a peninsula desk. No, it's a freestanding. I don't know. It's a desk. It's an awesome desk. You can sort of see it behind me here. But anyway, the video is not about the desk. The video is about relocating the PC so that you can have some room on your desk again. Because what I want to do is maybe get some studio monitor speakers to go on. I probably won't put them on my desk, but I probably will put them on stands just adjacent to behind the desk. And I would like to not have a computer in the way, especially when the fans in this thing, when I'm gaming, it's just it's like the equivalent of a jet engine beside you. So in my mind, if it's behind me, at least it's a little bit less annoying, and if the speakers are in front of me, it would work. I generally game with headsets anyways, so whatever. But again, this video is for you if you're looking to get the PC off of your table and just do something that's simple and easy, that looks good from far, but far from good. Alright, so as you can see, I'm in the corner behind my desk. You may be able to see it framed in the shot just a little bit. This is my desk, so my PC's sitting right over there. The camera was directly in front of us before. So what I've already done that I will not be showing in this video, because I've already done it and I thought to make a video afterwards, actually, full disclosure, I did think to do this before, but I just didn't bother, so I digress. Anyways, what I got going on is 2x4s here. So I just took some general standard kiln dried 2x4s. What I did on the very end is I measured 3/4 inch up and I cut a 45 just so that it's not a square end cut on the end of wood like that. It's gonna have an angle on it so it looks a little bit nicer. So I made it so that they go to the studs. And what I did is I'm gonna make a platform. Well, I can just show you. I made a platform in this shape. So it's gonna sit in the corner and it's gonna leave a reveal for cords to go down in the bottom here in the triangle that's gonna be exposed. And then what I've done is I've also trimmed this with some molding there, as you can see at my shop. And so I've painted it all white underneath and on top. I didn't bother wood filling it. For me, this is gonna be good enough. So you're gonna need to find your studs. What I did was I pre-drilled some holes here, and I marked where my studs were everywhere here, and I've drilled them with 3-inch screws into the studs. So I'm using 1.5 inch material. Drywall's 1/2 inch, so that's 2 inches. So I've got 1 inch of screws into the lumber behind it. When your PC's like mine, I don't know what it weighs, but I'm gonna guess probably in the neighborhood of 40+ pounds. It's pretty heavy. So you want this to be in lumber, in studs. In my opinion, I wouldn't even really use those plastic insert things, or I would hesitate to use those, okay guys, if you've got a heavy PC. Now, you could do this differently. You could do a rectangle and just put your PC right here. If I didn't make YouTube videos and want this to be more presentable in the background, I would have done that as well. I'm doing this simply for the fact that this is my studio, and I think it's gonna look nicer in the background if it's on an angle as opposed to direct on. I don't think you'll see and be able to appreciate the insane PC that I've actually got here, guys. So if you don't know what I'm running, there's previous videos videos that describe things. I've recently had some catastrophic issues with it. I don't know if that video is up or not yet. If it's not, look forward to it. If it is, go look for it, because we had some stuff happen, and that's part of the lapse in all these videos that I was trying to be making here. So of course Murphy intervenes every time I say I'm about to make all these videos. Then here you go, something's gonna get screwed, like a screwdriver thrown in the gear mechanism is what I'm trying to say. So anyways, let's talk more build. This is the how to build your own computer stand, custom computer stand. All right, so again, these are just lumber. I painted it. What I used was, I know nothing about painting. I went to the hardware store and I bought paint that is designed for furniture. So it's like really high scuff values. It won't wear out very easily is what I was told anyways. So I'm just a consumer. I do what I'm told as a consumer when I'm offered something that I'm told is going to be of better value or more reasonable. So let's get right into it. Obviously you want to use a level. What I did first was I installed this piece. I put my screws, this is one of my screws in the end here, and then I leveled it and I put my screw in the other stud behind here on the other end, and then I secured it. I've got four screws securing this piece directly into studs. Because of the offset, the piece along the back, I couldn't put screws into the studs, so I pre-drilled this and I put toenails from the top, bottom, and the face into the other piece of wood, so it's held quite well. Over here I got another stud, I pre-screwed two more, and that's secured. So like honestly, this could, in my mind, this could probably support 300 to 400 pounds with the amount of screws that I put in here. I think in general with nails anyway, they say it's 50 to 55 pounds. Don't quote me on that, I'm just saying I think it's 50 to 55 pounds per nail load bearing. So if you applied even just that logic, we've got 7, so 7 times 5, that'd be 350 pounds, okay? So once you've got your pieces cut and assembled, then you're gonna wanna paint it. That's what I did anyways. This was all pre-cut, assembled. I glued this trim on, and I used my brad nailer to set this all on, so this is never coming off. The material I used here, I just had it laying around. This is some 1-inch plywood, so I used that because I had it. This is some 1.5-inch material, so what I ended up having to do, where it's going to sit on the 2x4s on the wall, I had to take a little notch out to the 1-inch just because it wouldn't sit right. It would be sitting above that obviously. So you'll see maybe in a minute, I'll show you after it's all put together. So what I had to do was decide a height. Like I say, this is a studio, so what determined my height was I have a Darth Vader helmet that I want to put on top of my PC, and with the height of that, I don't want it to be above my display. I said that right, displays above it. I don't want it to be too crowded, so I wanted a tiny bit of separation. Plus my issue is there's an outlet right here, and I can either go above it or below it, because to tie into the stud I need to go past it. So I chose to go below it because above it would make it so I can't run my helmet there, which I really wanted to do. So I went just a couple inches lower than what it needed to be. But it's going to give better separation, and honestly in a background I think it's just going to look better. Plus this thing here is big enough that my PC sits on it, and then also as you see these lights behind me, if you've ever watched any of my PC giveaway guy stuff, these lights are going to just sit right on here and shine up, and I made everything white so it's got max reflective value. That was my thinking. Plus I don't want you to see my shelf, I want you to see my PC in the background, right? That's my thinking. Anyway, here we go. This is going to be really hard. Actually, to be honest with you, the only hard part is to come up with a design that makes sense, and then to execute it by like cutting the pieces, assembling everything. Once you've got everything pre-cut and pre-assembled, if you're going to do molding on this, it's relatively easy. Just take your time. Don't get in a rush. Make sure you find studs. What I did was behind where I'm going to mount this, I just drilled a series of little holes until I had no stud, and when I was in the stud and then I'm on the other side, then I could mark exactly where it is, and I took the center shot of that so I know my screws are going into the center. Will I have to do some drywall repair if I ever take this down? Yeah, but I would have already, because there's already a series of holes anyways, so that's my logic. I don't use stud finders because that's like a double negative, maybe double positive. When you're a stud, you don't use a stud finder, okay? So it's going to be super complicated, so pay attention guys. What you do is you take the shelf, and you put it on. Okay? It's, yeah, really that complicated. So what I've done, like I say, is I had to extend, but this side's extended on more purpose. What this side is extended for is because this is actually where I'm going to put my power bar. I'm going to mount my power bar so that it sits right here, like this. But what I am going to do right now is I am going to actually secure this to that lumber. I'm going to drill a hole on each side and put a screw in. that's it. As you can see, one PC custom mounted on a shelf, and I've got a cool RGB light behind it. That's actually the Philips Hue lighting. If you look to an earlier video, I did do a review of that stuff. It's what I light the contrast lighting with my studio. So, hope you enjoyed today's video, you guys. If you did, like and subscribe, and please check out some of my later content, but more importantly, check out what's coming up in the videos to come, because it's going to get pretty exciting now that I have a working PC again. So as always, guys, be kind to each other, and we'll see you in the next video.